What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy from LEDGO here with Graham Sheldon to talk about a couple shoots that we did in the last few weeks using LEDGO and Nanlite in this production. So let's welcome Graham Sheldon to the show. What's up, Graham?
Hey, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you. For some of the people I know, I've gotten to know you pretty well in 2020, despite all that's going on. We've done, 3 or 4 productions?
Yeah,
And
something like that, which is, I think, a ton considering all the things that are happening.
So for those of you who haven't gotten to know you pretty well in 2020, can you tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Graham Sheldon. I am a producer and director of photography. I'm a freelance writer as well. I'm a contributor to cinema5d.com for those of you out there who know that site. I just finished up my 5th feature as either some combination of producer or camera department or some combination of those two hyphens. And I've done television, commercial work for brands like Lucasfilm, Ubisoft, Dell, TLC, ITV, Vice, all sorts of folks. Yeah, so generally I've just been working in around California more recently, but I used to travel all of the time. So that's me.
Awesome. Yeah, I think a lot of us used to travel a lot more.
Yeah, that used to be a
past.
thing. So I guess I'm a local videographer now, Jeremy. that's my job.
You're a filmmaker, man. That's step
thank you.
above videographer. So, cool. So in mid-May, you had a shoot with a whole bunch of studios for like a shootout between the most powerful new characters added, very popular new characters added to the Mortal Kombat game, and Nerdist Versus. So tell them a little bit about the shoot and how you use the lights for the setup.
Yeah, so the production that you're referencing, it's called Nerdist Versus. It's the first episode of hopefully a very long-running series starring YouTuber, science communicator, actor Nick Uhas. So definitely look him up if you're not familiar with Nick's work. But the idea behind this project, it's essentially a digital branded piece. It is a head-to-head battle, as you say, between two sort of iconic characters, between RoboCop and Terminator. And, I don't want to give away too much. Definitely go to the Nerdist channels, their YouTube channel, their Facebook channel, and check out the full episode. But basically, it's sort of a science-y way of trying to figure out who would win in a head-to-head fight, RoboCop or Terminator. And as you said, we used a bunch of Nanlite and LEDGO products. I guess I should start with, the PavoTube 2 6Cs are all in the shot. I mean, they're kind of in that big wide shot that starts the episode. They're all mounted as practicals along that back wall for a very specific reason, actually. So we are shooting entirely with Sigma Cine Primes, but for me, sort of a hallmark of 90s, sort of those horizontal lens flares that you get from normally anamorphic, not spherical lenses. However, I love the look out of Sigma Cine Primes, but I still wanted flares, so I'm cheating a little bit. I'm using something from Schneider called a True Streak filter. Those of you out here who are purists and say that's not a real anamorphic flare, it doesn't matter. I thought it looked cool. And so that's the blue flares coming off the PavoTube 2 6Cs. I think we had 4 of them mounted on that back wall. So right off the bat, a bunch of Nanlite products in there as well. And then outside, we had a few Nanlite Forza 500s, as well as a LEDGO D1200, which essentially they're much punchier, honestly, than I expected. The Forza 500 has a ton of output, right? We're all trying to find ways to, at least I am, use less HMIs on set, right? Because LEDs are amazing. You can plug them into anything. And as the output of the Forza series keeps getting bigger and bigger, in our case with the 500, those are causing sort of punchy light shafts coming in through little cracks in the corrugated metal exterior of our studio. And so you add a little bit of haze and you get those sort of really cool shafts of light. Again, another hallmark of sort of 90s action movies. For whatever reason, it's always hazy all of the time. And then, we have sort of an experiment section in Nerdist Versus where the punching machine is set up. You also see a little bit of the red coming in the flamethrower section of it, but it's mostly playing in the punching and then in the intro. Again, watch the episode. But we have two LEDGO Magic Cues G260s playing, creating sort of this sort of like red light through this industrial looking window that's partially covered up. So that's what's hiding behind there. And I mean, the window had a lot of covering on it, but thankfully, these specific magic cues have enough punch to be able to fight that covering, and we didn't have to strip that covering off of the window. So that's what's causing the red in the background during those shots. So yeah, a lot of Nanlite, a lot of LEDGO stuff playing all throughout that first episode, Jeremy.
The main shot where you had a couple cinder blocks and it looks like a fire behind it and like a barrel. Looked like there was a fire inside the barrel behind that, like a little dystopian look to it.
Yeah, I think we had some alta tubes, right? Playing in different, I'd call them fire elements. That's another thing about sort of dystopian 80s, 90s action films. There's always just random things on fire. Very key, right? Normal in real life, incredibly dangerous. So you don't actually want to use practical fire too much. Thankfully, with alta tubes, easy to just swap over to the fire effect. And then you got to hide, in our case, you got to hide the fixture. So we built like a little cinder block wall, which is hiding an alta tube fire effect. And then always barrels are on fire for some reason in the dystopian future. So we have multiple barrels that all have alta tubes in them, again, with that fire effect. Just
well, that's
providing
where the homeless people keep warm, to keep their hands.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one has a home, because everyone's dystopian. So.
Well, look, there might be some practical story reason why these barrels exist. So I'll leave that to you, Jimmy, to figure out. But yeah, those are the fire effects that you have going on in the background, just trying to create some visual interest, right? You never just want to have it fall off into darkness or something. You always want something going on back there. And thankfully in a show like Versus, we can have a lot of stuff going on all the time. It's supposed to be big and visual, and robots are punching each other in the face. Like, this should feel big and epic. And the alta tubes helped us make everything big and epic. So RoboCop was added to Mortal Kombat Aftermath, part of Mortal Kombat 11. It's a downloadable content DLC for short. So this video was made to sort of highlight RoboCop, but Terminator is a recent addition to the game as well. So it was a collaboration between Warner Brothers Interactive and Nerdist, and those were sort of the elements at play there.